And welcome back to another episode of the More Minute, where we're diving into databases, data fabric, and really the power of leveraging AI ready data. And today, I really want to talk about this use case of offloading data. This is really driven by the cost of running large business intelligence queries, and especially when you're running that on non-critical cold data that's being stored in maybe not the most cost-effective way. So many enterprises today maintain expensive data warehouses, whether they're on-prem or in the cloud. And these warehouses support mission-critical workloads with low latency and high performance requirements that justify their high costs. However, there is also often data in these warehouses that are supporting less important, less stringent workloads. This could be really infrequently accessed or cold data that's being kept for audit purposes or data that's being used for business intelligence reporting and data scientists. And for many enterprises, it makes a lot of financial sense for this data, this infrequently used data, to be offloaded to a lower cost solution, for example, a cloud object storage. But keeping it in the warehouse just seems to be the easier path that has been taken. As a result, though, the periodic scaling of these data warehouses to support growing workloads can be extremely expensive. So what I'm excited to share with you today and give you a demo of what this looks like within the watsonx.data tool is how you can offload non-critical data from a source. In the demo, I'm going to use the example of DB2 and how you can really offload that into a lower cost, more cost efficient data. And then I'm also going to add in federated search, which was my last video, how you can really confirm that that data was offloaded by doing a federated search that leverages both a higher cost data warehouse as well as moving it over to a lower cost cloud object store. Now you can keep all of that data and leverage it for analytics and BI needs, but also really control enterprise cost. And so with that, I will head over into the demo. I'm excited for you to see this in action in this powerful tool, watsonx.data. I want to focus on the offloading capabilities that are available. As we spoke about, now you're currently using DB2, which has higher cost, and you know that there's some more cold data that's really not mission critical that could be moved off to Iceberg, which uses the object storage, which is much more cost efficient for Ameriprise's financial goals. And so in order to do this, we're going to move the data from DB2 and move it into the Iceberg storage. So I just want to give a visual representation of what we'll be doing. Move into the data manager. And first we'll create a schema here. So we want this in the Iceberg data catalog. Then we'll call it the watsonx Go Sales database. And you'll click create. And here within Iceberg now in the dropdown, you can see that there's a Go Sales schema, which we just created. And so now we're going to create a table in our query workspace and essentially copy this specific table from DB2 and move it into Iceberg. So here I have the table SQL create table code here. We'll click run presto, and this will create the table. I won't click run because I've already done this in preparation for this demo. So now when we move back to the data manager tab and we go into the Iceberg watsonx.data Go Sales database, we can now move and understand the names, the data types, the null values for this specific data that was moved from DB2 into the Iceberg object-oriented storage. And also see an example of this data, as well as we get the DDL as well. So now to ensure that we have that data moved from DB2 to Iceberg, we're going to do another federated query that pulls from both in order to see how this data has been moved. And you want to do this to ensure that it was before we're moving any data from the DB2 warehouse. So we will come back to the SQL, the query workspace, and we'll put in our query. So here, I've just copy pasted our query. We're pulling from the DB2 specific product lines, as well as from Iceberg, the new Watson X Go Sales data warehouse that we created there. So this query, when we run it, is going to calculate the totals for the high level product lines, and the output you'll see here highlights the different equipment that's available as well as the totals of those equipment. And it was pulling from the multiple different data sources, one of which used to be in DB2, but now has been offloaded to Iceberg for more cost efficiency.